Pulled in town in a police car. Daddy said it took you just a little too far. Telling other things but your girlfriend lied. Can't catch me cause your rabbit done died. Yes it did. Standing in front just shaking your act. Take you backstage, you can drink from my glass. Talk about something you can sure understand. Cause a month on the road and I'll be eating from your hand. Sweet
Welcome to Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the art of kissing. Please welcome to the stage your host, Court, the pharmacist of love, Hanson. Thank you.
The fact that I haven't said anything yet and people are already laughing means that my idea for the show, which is that I'm the least sexy person ever, is going to be reading this book to you. We're off to a great start. So, I won this book in a White Elephant exchange over the holidays. And at first I was disappointed because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to use that. But then I started flipping through it while I was standing in the back during the rest of the White Elephant gift exchange show and unfortunately not paying attention to my friends on stage. And I found out that this book is just really upsetting. It's called The Art of Kissing by William Kane. And if you guys will direct your attention to the gentleman in the back with the curly hair and the red pants, he looks like the guy who wrote this book. I've also promised myself that to keep things interesting, I'm going to force myself to have both of those very large, very, bitter IPAs that are at my feet down there. I'm going to have those both finished by the halfway point of this show. So we'll see how my reading skills do. To get started, we should probably read the back cover and the front matter. I'm going to grab a drink so that I have it in my hand ready so I don't have to bend down. Modernize your kissing. Discover the newest fads in French kissing. How to make yourself kissable in the eyes of the opposite sex. Where men, and then in parentheses, and women like to be kissed best. Tips for more intimate kisses. And then there's like a subheading on this list. How to do today's trendiest kisses. The upside down kiss, the liposuction kiss, the butterfly kiss, the rock kiss, like a rock, and then the Trobriand Islands kiss. I don't know where the Trobriand Islands are. Does anyone know where that is? It sounds like a place near Kokomo. And then it says, here's the eagerly awaited revision of the Kissing Bible featured on Donahue and published in more than 18 foreign countries. Completely revised and updated. Through a worldwide internet survey available to 20 million people. And I don't know if it's just that's how many people were on the internet when this was published. So it's like, yeah, 20 million people could have filled out this survey. Or if it doesn't say. It just says 20 million people had access to this survey. The art of kissing is your key to every aspect of contemporary kissing excitement. And there's a couple blurbs from different reviewers and different publications. The first one, this is from 17, so I guess theoretically this book is directed at teenage girls, and definitely not William Kane, who is a pervert. It says, get it and expand your puckering portfolio. Just think, puckering portfolio. Like people have a stock portfolio or an art portfolio, and this is a puckering portfolio. And then the Newton Bee from Newton, Connecticut You are bound to learn something new about kissing if you read this book. And there's a lot more blurbs. Whoever said, and this is from Elle magazine, whoever said a kiss is just a kiss didn't get his mitts on the art of kissing. A detailed how-to book, this year's handy alternative to chocolates. So if any of you are here on a date and the woman that you brought is already disappointed, listen up, because we've got some treats, and they're not chocolate. It's refreshing to think about kissing, per se, then as a prelude to something else, and that's from Self magazine. That one's kind of more wholesome. But when we get to the book, you'll see that it's... Oh, God. The Art of Kissing is perhaps the most thorough encyclopedia on swapping slobber ever available. Swapping slobber. Kane covers every kind of kissing imaginable, whether you're looking to improve your skills or to save your hide after giving a lousy Valentine's Day gift. The Art of Kissing is sure to be effective. So I'm serious, listen closely. Oh, and then it specifies that this is from the Oxford Mail, but then it puts in parentheses, England. Just in case you thought it was a different Oxford. This is the definitive book worth more than lip service. The Art of Kissing. Let's get into the fleshy lips of this book. Well, maybe the table of contents would be... It's like drinking beer, but worse. So we've got part 1, the psychology of kissing. Sub-chapters, what is kissing? Let's get romantic. How to make yourself more kissable. And then part 2, this is the bulk of the book, is the kissing encyclopedia, including the first kiss, the neck kiss, the sliding kiss, the teasing kiss, the long kiss, the upside down kiss, the vacuum kiss. I know, I heard about a guy doing that in high school. The role-playing kiss, which has subchapters slave and master, prostitute and customer, the androgynous kiss, great rapper, and then the gangster kiss, and of course the friendly kiss. And then this one is fun because it's just tinged with colonial racism. We've got part 3, which is kisses from around the world. French kiss, not really racist because they're in Europe and they invented racism. But then we got the Eskimo kiss, the Japanese kiss, and then just a whole chapter of European kisses, and then we're back to the Trobriand Islands kiss. Part 4 is kissing technique. To look or not to look, talking while kissing, laughing while kissing. How to kiss in a car, how to kiss at parties, kissing games, social and business. For I guess when you're visiting the countries where that is acceptable, but the rest of this seems to be romantic, so we'll see. And then how to talk about kissing and how to avoid kissing diseases. Exactly. This is the preface to the completely revised edition. Revised and updated, not just revised. As you guys can tell, I'm already bad at reading out loud because I'm pretty stupid. But it's going to get harder. So this is the preface. One morning, I was getting ready to give my English class a break. Beth, a pert 16-year-old student, approached my desk with her vocabulary test in hand, and she says, "I heard you were an expert in kissing." And I said, "Well, I did write a book on it, but..." I said, "Did you ever hear of this one?" She flipped over her test. On the back of it, she'd drawn a man and a woman with lips locked. It's called liposuction. This is a 16-year-old girl explaining to her English teacher what this kiss is. She started explaining it to me. Suddenly, other students were crowded around, listening, throwing in their 2 cents. Yeah, sure, I tried that one. Have you ever heard about the one where you use your eyelashes? Vocabulary was no longer the topic. Within minutes, I was surrounded by 20 teenagers who knew more about tongue action than a panel of sexologists. I started to think it was time for this teacher to take a refresher course. Ugh. On that day, I decided to begin working on a completely revised and updated edition of The Art of Kissing. So like Woodward and Bernstein, who broke the Watergate scandal, he just had to tell this story. What's new in this revised edition? Virtually everything. The book you hold in your hands contains the latest information available on kissing. Each chapter has been revised and brought up to date with new data gathered through a worldwide kissing survey. Which types of kisses do women like most? What tongue techniques will impress your man? You'll find the answers here. As well as new sections on romance and a chapter on how to make yourself more kissable. There are also new chapters on the upside down kiss, but we already covered that, butterfly kiss. French kiss has been expanded, so they went back and looked over the math for the French kiss and realized that they forgot to carry a 1, but now they have the real updated French kiss for whatever year this came out. It's hard to do this with one hand, so that's okay. 1989 was the original. This version is from 1995. 25 years old, this book. Old enough to know better. If you'd like to be on the mailing list for future revisions, just in case you want to send your information to William Kane, who looks like a character from American Psycho on the back. He writes under the pen name of... I should have started with this. Some background on William Kane. William Kane is the pen name of Michael Christian, who teaches English at Boston College, and who had been researching this topic, quote, since a very early age. Author of The Book of Kisses. He lives in Brookline. Maybe they say a lot of dumb shit in Massachusetts, like Worcester is Worcester. And so maybe it's Brooklyn, Massachusetts, but it's spelled Brookline, so that's what I'm going to say, because we're not in fucking Boston, right? All right, so that was the preface to the new edition. This is just the regular standard preface. This book is the result of a kiss. And a rather embarrassing one at that. Oh, no. I had been kissing a certain young woman. I wonder if it was the... How did he describe her? He said a pert 16-year-old. So maybe that was a certain young woman. When she broke off and pushed away, her mouth a gaping oval of surprise and her blue eyes wide with shock and annoyance. I was taken aback by this sudden reversal of emotion. A moment before, she had been kissing me passionately. Oh. It's like soy sauce. It's like chugging soy sauce. But there's no cracker with a fortune in it at the end. Just this cracker. As you can tell, I've already finished most of this one. You're supposed to kiss with your eyes open, she said. I was totally bewildered. Where in the Book of Kissing did it say that you had to kiss with your eyes closed? I asked her, but she couldn't tell me. It's not nice to kiss and look, she insisted. And because she liked to kiss with her eyes closed, I had to follow suit. That was her logic, and of course, being under her spell, I played by her rules. But I was vexed, for I wanted to be able to refer to some authority to show that it was all right to kiss with your eyes open. Unfortunately, the books on kissing that I consulted at the library, flipping through, this would have been the 90s too, so they would have had those, like, the really big Macs that were rainbow colored. So he was looking them up on those, or using the Dewey Decimal System to get some ladies' decimals. Unfortunately, the books on kissing I consulted at the library were woefully silent on this and many other points. The best of the old books... Oh, that alarm means I have to drink faster. 8:25 got here a lot quicker than I expected. Much like the author of this book, when he's talking to students and probably women at bars, I'm trying to get as much alcohol in me as possible. And you guys can complete the rest there. It's a dark line of thinking. The best of these old books, The Art of Kissing by Hugh Morris. So he stole the title. William Kane is a plagiarist in addition to a creep. The best of the old books, The Art of Kissing by Hugh Morris from 1936. So Great Depression. Great Depression was in full swing, but hobos riding the rails everywhere. Didn't Woody Guthrie have a folk song about the art of kissing? It's broken up into separate chapters, but its treatment was out of date, no kidding, and often consisted of merely a collection of quotes from classical poets. Neither Morris nor the other writers gave more than a perfunctory description of how to execute the kisses they discussed. It was as if they avoided detail on purpose. Well, the rest of this book is gonna show us why it's good to avoid detail. Puzzled by the lack of explicitness in these works, I set out to obtain the information myself. Over a period of 10 years, I gathered most of the data of this book through interviews and the first worldwide internet survey on kissing. Man, I wonder how, because this would have been like really dedicated like chat room era. You would have to understand how the internet works to get on there. 95. I think our family got our first computers like 97. Oh, the stream is playing my nasally robot voice back to me. just to remind me what I sound like. And then he just goes on to thank some people and describe the structure of the book. But for the sake of variety, let's go back to the table of contents. Do you guys want? Maybe we can start with a chapter from the psychology of kissing. Do we want what is kissing? Let's get romantic, or how to make yourself more kissable. Okay. Clearly, if you're here. All right, before I start this chapter, I'm going to finish this and grab my other one so I don't have to keep thinking about it. That was the Beer with Purpose from Sacramento, California. And it's the Curious Haze, and they've got like an ugly Curious George. He looks like Furious George. I'm just degrading myself tonight for you people. Some people are into being degraded. You don't have to awe that. Okay, how to make yourself more kissable. Page 14. Ooh! Jessica was saying to her friend Nicole, Look! The two attractive teenagers were standing outside their university's cafeteria on a sunny afternoon. What is it? Check out that guy. Which one? The one with the mustache. The one with the mustache looking at the two, quote, attractive teenagers. Ooh, help me. That's what she's saying. What's wrong? I'm dying to kiss him. Can't you tell he's gorgeous? Oh, please, God, I'm going to faint if he comes over here. Don't look now, but he's headed this way. Uh-oh. I'm so in love with him and with that mouth. I want to kiss him to death. I'm so crazy about him. This is an actual conversation I overheard recently when I was hiding in the bushes at a large university. No, the part about I was joking. The part about I made up the part about the university. It was a high school. It started me wondering how some people manage to project such a highly kissable image. I think he's just describing how he wants to kiss teenagers. He's like, what is it about them that is so kissable? Is it the lack of power they have in society that can lord over them? Or is it something else? We'll find out. What is it, I ask men and women, that makes you want to kiss a member of the opposite sex? So no fucking gays in this book. Get the fuck out if you're gay. Jesse, did that broadcast out?
No, we've got a delay. It's fine.
Oh, good. You have time to cut the feed before I ruin your club further.
This is the author of the Book of Kissing saying this, so that's fine.
That's true. I am citing my sources here.
We're good.
The results, I asked men and women what makes you want to kiss the opposite sex. No gays, we went through that. The results were nearly unanimous. Good looks, a winning smile, a positive mental attitude, fresh breath, not after these burrs, these Aaron burrs. The fresh breath and beautiful lips and teeth. It specifies teeth. And then there's a little box. You guys can all see the little box. It says, are you kissable? 1. Do you dress fashionably? No. Do you keep your hair neat? Yeah, kind of. Have you ever asked a member of the opposite sex for advice on how to look sexier? Do you have a positive mental attitude? Do you frequently smile? Is your breath fresh? Which is exactly what the previous paragraph said. It just put it in list form to make it sound scientific. And then there's a survey here. It says, how do you keep Try being drunk and saying breath fresh instead of fresh breath. It's hard. How do you keep your breath fresh for kissing? And men said breath mints, mouthwash, a minty toothpaste. What are the other options? What are the other options? Like, what is, besides a minty toothpaste, what do they have? There's a chewing tobacco toothpaste? No, really, what other flavors are there of toothpaste besides mint? Oh, hey, peppermint is mint. I don't know about that. We'll put a pin in that. Well, if anyone thinks of any flavors for toothpaste, feel free to shout them out later. Another guy said, gum works, but I hate that chewing. A tiny breath mint is just fine. For early morning kisses, I have been known to have a small glass of mouthwash on the nightstand. Depends on how light a sleeper she is. I'll bet it does, William. And whether or not you can use the mouthwash without making it sound like you're using it. So if you're doing mouthwash in your bed, where does it go? You just swallow it, or do you spit it back into the cup and then just have like little flecks of food like floating around in the mouthwash while you're trying to kiss this woman that you've drugged? Because he puts such great emphasis on how light of a sleeper they are, I assume that he takes chemicals into the equation. Women said, though, I'm a vegetarian. And then, in parentheses, according to an old boyfriend, typical boyfriend, it makes a difference. I brush and floss every day. And if I'm planning on kissing someone, I tend to eat the same sorts of things they do at dinner. Don't drink coffee, eat fruits and vegetables. Yeah, just munch on some asparagus and then go into kiss. It'll be great. Sometimes I use chocolate to make my mouth taste really sweet. That was actually a recommendation that I got today from someone who said they were going to be attending the show, and he's not here. No, don't. He recommended dark chocolate while kissing. I don't think he realized it wasn't like an open forum about like different kissing techniques that I'm reading from the art of kissing. But yeah, he recommended that, and I had to think about him kissing people, so it was a lose-lose. And then another woman said breath mints, ... or prayer. So that's maybe we're uncovering something here with this, because there was the opposite sex thing, and now it's talking about praying. So maybe this, and you know who else likes to pray on young people? The Catholic Church. It's all coming. It's all, corkboard and strings and pins. Here's a kissing tip, though. Here's what dental hygienists recommend for fresh breath. In descending order of importance. So he put these into a spreadsheet and then clicked that column so that it would be in order of importance. Floss and brush your teeth, brush your tongue, yes, tongue, to remove bacteria. Drink plenty of water to wash away odor produced. This isn't even that funny because it's just like helpful for having not gross breath. So let's move forward a little bit so I don't waste that much more of your time. There's another survey. How do you project a kissable image for the opposite sex? Men said, first and foremost, smile. Try to keep neatly shaven. Talk with your eyes. Hold their gaze intently. Hear that fella stare at a lady from across the room. That way she'll notice you. Follow her home. Make sure you're close enough that she can see you clearly in the rearview mirror, and she thinks, that's the guy from the bar. Moist lips and occasional licking of the lips. Occasional biting of the upper lip. So this isn't saying you should be like licking or biting the lips of the person you're kissing. It's like you're trying to lure someone in for a kiss, and so you should be like slobbering all over yourself, like moistening your lips. And then this guy got fucking cheeky. Piece of shit. He says, just by being me. Damn, that sounds conceited. But it's true. I'm an attractive fellow and have great personality. I get kissed for being me. Well, that's not who this book is for, sir. This book is for people who have various sexual pathologies and need a list to explain why it's okay to act the way they do. Women, though, they have some different takes, some different opinions about how to make yourself more kissable. Surprisingly, number one is not just be a woman. Because women are good looking, is what I'm saying. They said I use my hair and that look works every time. What's that look? Can any of the women here explain? Because I'm stupid, and I think a lot of my friends that are guys are stupid, and so if it's just a look, we're not gonna pick up on that. So if you could explain what that look means, it'll be helpful. I haven't actually had any of this since I picked it up. It is getting harder to read. Do you have any tips on how to make the lips and teeth irresistible? Men said put Vaseline on in the evening before bed. Yeah, right. On your nightstand, you've got your glass of Listerine, and then you've got your glass of Vaseline. And don't mix up the two, because that's embarrassing. Well, do you guys feel like you have a good sense of how to be more kissable? We can move on to another section of the book. What? Oh, you shuddered in horror. Do you guys want to... All right, so part 2 is the Kissing Encyclopedia, which, like I said, is the bulk of the book. Which of these sounds the most tantalizing and titillating to you? I'm going to skip the boring ones. So... There's the electric kiss. The teasing kiss. The long kiss. The vacuum kiss. Vacuum, is that what you guys want? And there's also the friendly kiss. That one could be interesting too. Vacuum, all right, that's on page 101. So if you'll all turn with me to page 101. The vacuum kiss. I don't like drinking either. That's like part of the fun here is that you guys are seeing me punish myself like psychologically, but also physically. I'm doming myself. I feel so powerful and so weak at the same time. All right, page 101, the vacuum kiss. Imagine that you're sitting with your boyfriend on the couch, but neither of you are watching television. You're wearing a new silk blouse. That's a sexy word, blouse. It's like something an actual librarian would wear, not like a hot librarian. And he's told you 3 times this evening that you look stunning. Finally, he leans forward to kiss you. After a few minutes, you're necking seriously and you begin a long kiss, during which your lips adhere tightly to his. Slowly and playfully, and without even thinking about what you're doing, you begin to suck the air out of his mouth. What a feeling! I'm picturing just like a Borscht Belt, like old-time stand-up just being like, in America, you suck the air out of his mouth. What a country! His lips taste like the inside of a peach, not the outside. As you draw breath deep into your... Oh, my God. As you draw his breath deep into your lungs, you can feel your souls mingling. That's not souls. That's your gag reflex from inhaling some dude's breath. Then he begins to suck the air out of your mouth. If you know anyone who's... abused whippets, you know whippets, like the little nitrous oxide canisters that they use to make whipped cream. People at like Fish and Grateful Dead shows are big fans of that. You have this little cylinder and then you bust it open and it fills up with nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas, which is what they put you on at the dentist so that they can kiss you. But in order to get the most out of it, and this is all just research. This is hard data that my own research in addition to this. So you exhale it out into the balloon, and then so that you don't waste it, you pass that balloon to your friends, and so you like keep the balloon going as long as possible until all of the nitrous oxide is gone. And what William Kane is saying is that you should do that with your partner. Is pass them around at like a like a dirty concert. Okay, where was I? You suck the air out of the mouth. And by the time you've given him every atom of breath you have, you feel like you're so totally and completely his that your nerves are vibrating with shameless excitation. You've let him take your very life's breath away. How together you are at last, how mystically close, and on some level how profane and wicked it feels. Like Hylas in the pond with the nymphs. Once you've acquired a taste for vacuum kisses, they'll take you deeper and beneath the surface until you're lost in all their myriad charm. And types of vacuum kisses. In a double vacuum kiss, you keep your lips sealed tightly together as you both suck the air out of each other's mouths. Simultaneously, your cheeks may actually hurt from the intense pressure exerted on them. In the reverse vacuum kiss, I assume that that's farting in their mouth. No, I was wrong. You just touch your lips together, no tongue or teeth involved. So if you're germophobic, this is okay. And blow back and forth into each other's mouth. That's so awful. Isn't that the best part of kissing, is when you can feel and taste and smell the breath of the person you're kissing? Isn't that... I love thinking about it in detail. In the mouth-to-mouth vacuum kiss, you hold your partner's nose and blow the air into his lungs as if you're resuscitating him. Oh, here's another kissing tip. About 60% of respondents never experienced this kiss, so it's a good one to spring unexpectedly on your lover. If it doesn't work at first, tell your partner to breathe out while you breathe in, and that should get things started. So yeah, while you're kissing your bae, pinch her nose and start sucking the air out of her lungs. And then if she doesn't like it, just say, no, you're doing it wrong. You like it. And then there's another survey. Do you ever suck air out of your partner's mouth? Women said, I hold his nose and blow air into his mouth so that fills his lungs. And then someone else said, only someone I know well. I would hope. I've been married for 1 year, and I do this once in a great while. Sucking air out of your lover's mouth seems to be something done by new lovers who tend to experiment more. Another woman said, I think probably the only honest thing in this book, yes, he hates this. But what did men have to say when asked this very same question by William Kane? I hate when someone sucks the air out of my mouth. It kind of hurts, but it's funny. Another guy said, it's different, but sexually arousing. The partner who receives the kiss gets a blast of air in the beginning until the person runs out of air. Then it's a warm mist. Well, that's the end of that chapter. That's the vacuum kiss, so... Thank you. Keep that applause going while I try and finish this. I did it. It's empty. Setting this down so I don't drop it. No, you don't. Oh, this is gonna be so much easier now that I have two hands. Okay, so that was the vacuum kiss. And so I'm gonna give you guys the option again. Do you want to stay in the kissing encyclopedia, or do you want to jump ahead to kisses from around the world? Island kiss? Yeah, let's find out what the Trobriand Island kiss is. Alright, I forgot what page it was before I started flipping. One 134, 154. Page 154. Oh, no. Alright, the Trobriand Islands kiss. Here's a kiss your lover has probably never heard of. A new kiss named after the South Sea Islands, where it's so commonplace that everyone does it. Again, overtones of colonialism here. The kiss was unknown in the rest of the world until 1929, when anthropologist Bronislaw Malinowski, whatever, some fucking Polish shit, whatever. They're not good at kissing. They put a screen door on their lips. Malinowski visited the Trobriand Islands, pronounced Trobriand, thanks, investigated their bizarre sexual customs, and wrote a marvelous account of his research. The sexual... Oh, no. Please, if anyone watching the broadcast or is here in the audience... if you're recording this, don't record this next sentence and don't post it out of context. The book is called The Sexual Life of Savages. Yeah, so That's what we're working with here for the Trobriand Islands kiss. But it's scientific, just like eugenics and phrenology. The Trobriand Islands are located about 1,850 miles due north of Sydney, Australia, in that part of the South Pacific Ocean known as the Solomon Sea. Natives of the islands are... oh, no. Natives of the islands are dark-skinned and belong to the Paupo-Melanesian race. Malinowski, definitely not of the Paupo-Melanesian race, studied every aspect of their sexual life, from premarital intercourse to marriage to pregnancy and childbirth to lovemaking and the erotic life. That's what I'm living. His research is highly respected. No, it's not. And his work ranks close to Darwin's. In the realm of cultural studies. So you have the origin of species, which explains how evolution works and, you know, why certain birds have certain shaped beaks after generation. But then, right in second place, you have you have Bronislaw Malinowski's. Oh, there's not a K in there, just Malinowski. That's easier. His book, The Sexual Life of Savages. So you got Origin of Species, Sexual Life of Savages. And then I guess like the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if you're familiar with that book. I guess that's the third ranking one. Malinowski found that the Trobriand natives consider our custom of kissing, pressing lips to lips, a rather silly and dull practice. But although they don't kiss as we define kissing, they typically use the mouth during lovemaking. Two lovers will typically begin by talking for a long time, grooming each other's hair. This author is very familiar with grooming. If his English class is any indication. And hugging and caressing each other. They rub noses just like the Eskimos. They also rub their cheeks together, and they rub mouth against mouth without kissing. Next, they suck each other's tongues in a sort of variation on the French kiss. When things heat up, they begin to rub tongue against tongue. Next, and this is the crucial step, they bite and suck each other's lower lip until the lip bleeds. And then they bite off each other's eyelashes. I'm not joking. That is what it says on page 155 of The Art of Kissing by William Kane, is that the natives of the Trobriand Islands, previously referred to as savages by Bronislaw Malinowski, bite each other's eyelashes off. The biting off of eyelashes is done during orgasm as well as during the early parts of lovemaking. They also exchange saliva from mouth to mouth and bite each other's chin, cheeks, and nose. During more intense moments, they also pull so forcefully on each other's hair that they often tear handfuls of it right out of their lover's head. Such is the nature of kissing among the Trobriand Islanders. For those brave souls willing to try something new, the instructions for the Trobriand Islands kiss follow. You needn't do each and every step. Skip around and try whichever ones interest you. All right, we should go in order. There's 17 steps. Yeah, 17 steps to successfully... It's like the Konami code. It's like up, up, down, down, left. Yeah. All right, 1, begin by getting close. Sit on a mat together. Not a bench, not a couch, not a bed, a mat. Because this is from an island. I realized that I was going to creep into, like, my own racism there, and that's probably not a road I want to go down. Number 2, have a conversation. Like we're having here. Number 3, hug and caress. Number 4, run your hands through your lover's hair. Number 5, rub noses. This is just the shit that he said before. Yeah, bite the lip, draw blood, bite off the eyelashes. I'm glad that it's literally the paragraph before this. I'm so glad I caught that before I subjected you all to it. But that's the end of the Trobriand Islands kiss. So bite your lover's eyelashes off. She'll love it. There's one in particular that I did want to present to you just because it's such a horrifying chapter. But while I make sure that this is the right chapter, what are your guys' favorite types of kisses? No, I'm serious. Like, well, I was right. It is the right chapter. We don't have to do that part. We can just jump into the sliding kiss. And this is genuinely disturbing. And so if you have, an aversion to things being disturbing, maybe plug your ears or leave or sit through it and then cancel me afterwards for subjecting you to this. But it's the sliding kiss. Hey, Jesse. Oh, no. Well, if he comes back in, we can... One survey response came from a fellow in his late 20s who said that when he was 4 years old, his babysitter used to kiss him. Jesse, can you get the creepy music going?
Oh, you mean the other one? Hold on.
Yeah. Because it really needs that for this part. It's really... This is what made me want to do this show, is reading this chapter. And just seeing the depths of depravity that this book is exposing. It's like... I don't know. Some book that exposes the depths of depravity. I can't think of any witty references. It's like the Necronomicon for all you Lovecraft fans out there. One survey response came from a fellow in his late 20s who said that he was 4 years old when his babysitter used to kiss him. She was a good friend of the family, almost like an aunt to him, and she babysat during the summer, usually wearing a sleeveless dress and watching television with him beside her. Maybe make the music a little louder. It's gonna get dark. One day she asked him to kiss her, and he started kissing her face and mouth, which she liked. But she wanted me to kiss her so much, he recalls, that I had to think of some way to do new kisses, because constant mouth and cheek kisses used to bore me. So I started to slide my mouth, and slide is in italics, started to slide my mouth down her arms. She was rather chubby, and I enjoyed kissing the flesh of her arms. Then I'd slide my mouth all the way down to her hands, and I'd kiss her hands. She thought it was a great game. I called it the sliding kiss. He may have invented this one when he was 4, but he's admittedly still at it. I do the kiss with my girlfriend now, and she likes it too. So go ahead and slide, and there's like 8 eyes in slide all across her body. Be as risque as you want. Slide down the neck and shoulders and kiss along the way. Slide down her legs too, stopping to put itty bitty kisses on her teeny weeny toes, and then slipping and sliding all along her back. And then in parentheses again it says, smooch. And then there's a subsection, subtle sliding kisses. Once you perfect the longer slides, for example, down an entire arm. So if you were kissing like Yao Ming or some other long arm guy, who else has long arms? Just picture whoever you're thinking of. Guy with long arms. Oh, fuck. I forgot what I was saying. Once you prefer the longer slides down an entire arm, you're ready for the small, subtle variations. During a routine lip kiss, slowly slide your mouth from side to side. What's this guy up to? Take it nice and slow and savor your lover's mouth first from one angle and then from another. The psychology of the sliding kiss. Some species, including horses and humans, regress to an earlier stage of development when making love, which is why lovers often call each other baby. Knowing this fact can help you become a better sliding kisser. Don't think of kissing as a serious adult activity. Instead, think of it as a childish game. Study 1-year-olds, and you'll learn a lot about how oral a human can be. Were we really that way at one time in our development? More than that, on some deep level, we're still that way. When you get your lover to express this childish side, does it count? So you've established that William Kane, when he's teaching English, is asking his teenage students for kissing tips. Does that count as expressing their childish side, or is that just their side because they're a child? But if you can get him to express the childish side, you'll succeed in unleashing his or her fullest erotic potential. So go ahead and slide. And then there's a helpful guide, places to slide kiss. People like to be kissed in the darndest places. Is that? I mean, this is kind of a Bill Cosby-esque book. Do you think that was? There's like kids say the darndest things. Kids like to be kissed in the darndest places. Here are some suggestions from the survey. Slide to these spots and kiss. I expect you all to follow along. I like to be kissed in the crook of the arm. Is that the elbow or the armpit? The crook of the arm. I really don't know, but somewhere on the arm. And then someone else said, my shoulders, with an exclamation point. For all the linebackers out there. Between the fingers is nice. Toes, too. So you just, like, ask them to, like, spread their fingers like Spock and, like, kiss up in the soft spot. And then the last person said, I like being kissed. Okay, so I guess the crook of the arm is the elbow, because the other person said, I like being kissed directly in my armpit. So that is the sliding kiss. That was the chapter of just the most scary horror about this guy who responded to the survey, who was absolutely molested by his babysitter. I already said all the stuff. It's like the situation isn't any better or worse now that I read it. I guess it is worse because you guys all know that too. Hey, Jesse, what time is it? Okay, I'll let's see. Oh, there's no afterword. So I'm just gonna power through a chapter from the end. Is that okay? Okay. Part 4, kissing technique. Do you guys want to hear to look or not to look, talking while kissing, laughing while kissing, what to do with your hands while kissing, telephone kisses, when to kiss on a date, the counter kiss, the makeup kiss, how to kiss at the movies, how to kiss in a car, how to kiss at parties, kissing games, social and business greeting kisses, how to avoid kissing diseases, kissing and drugs, how to talk about kissing. What do you guys want? Kissing and drugs? Okay, let's find that. It should be a small section, so we should be through this soon.
I don't think that actually, as I look at it, it's really
How to kiss like a European. Back to the Trobriand Islands. Kissing techniques. When to look, not to look. When to kiss on a date. Counter kiss. How to kiss at the movies. Kiss at parties. Jesus. Show and business greeting kisses. Kissing and drugs. Here, why don't we do kissing diseases and kissing and drugs? They take up about a single page. How to avoid kissing diseases. We'll define a kissing disease as one you can get simply by kissing someone. While this includes infections like the flu, mononucleosis. Excuse me, I just drank a bunch of beer, so I have, gas. While this includes infections like the flu, mononucleosis, and more severe things like syphilis and herpes, the good news is that AIDS is not a kissing disease. That is good news. There are no known cases of AIDS being transmitted by kissing. Levels of the HIV virus in an infected person's saliva are so low that physicians believe there is no danger of getting AIDS by kissing. You could, however, get mononucleosis from kissing your lover. Mononucleosis, also known as the kissing disease, has become something of a badge of honor for teenagers. I'll bet this guy knows. I bet that's also why he was researching, can you get AIDS from kissing? With pride, they boast to their friends and teachers I'll bet they do to their teachers. That they can't go to school because they have, quote, mono. The disease is transmitted by kissing, hence the nickname, or by other close personal contact, and is most common where people aged between 15 and 25 live together. In colleges and universities, the estimated incidence may be as high as 300 to 1, 1,500 cases per 100,000 students. Most people become immune to mono by the time they're 40 because they're exposed to the mild form of the disease and develop antibodies. But since there's no way to prevent mono, the best you can do is avoid kissing someone who has it. With other diseases that can be transmitted through kissing, including flu viruses, herpes, syphilis, etc., the answer is unfortunately just as vague. So I have a chapter on it. One of the chief epidemiologists in the Northeast just in general, has said that the best advice the medical profession can give people today about avoiding kissing diseases is simply to use common sense. If you do know people who are sick with communicable diseases, for example, you can see the sores on their lips, or you hear them coughing excessively, don't kiss them. There isn't much more you can do. Without a lab test, it's often impossible to know if someone has a communicable disease. The infected person often doesn't know it either. It seems that the medical profession is advanced on this one as they are on the common cold. And then we're at kissing and drugs. About 90% of men and women from around the world prefer to kiss while sober. Prefer. Probably, that answer probably mostly came because William Kane was the one that was asking them. And we were like, no, I won't have any drinks around you, Mr. Kane. I'm only 16. The small percentage who enjoy kissing while intoxicated often say they could experience things more fully while sober. What? Okay. Said a 34-year-old woman from Romania. Oh, God, so he's into sex trafficking and teenagers? Eastern Europe is a hotbed of sex trafficking, if you guys didn't know that. Both ways have their own perks, but I prefer to do things sober in general. Even fewer, 2%, said they enjoy kissing while high on marijuana and other drugs. The consensus seems to be that kissing can provide its own high. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys to just let all that talk of saliva and syphilis and kissing babysitters and all that just horrible, horrible advice that Mr. William Kane, the English teacher, brought us. And I thank you all for diving into the mouth of madness with me and kissing it. And I hope you have a good Valentine's Day. Thank you. Please stick around for the other shows. We have Banditos Plus and the Stab Podcast. Banditos Plus, I believe, is a sketch show, and the Stab Podcast is a podcast. It's true, I am.